Hi, my name is Keith Burgess and I'm from WebWings Internet Marketing in Australia. Over the years we've helped many people to build online businesses and often we come across people who are really interested in writing and interested in blogging and they ask questions about how could I make a living out of that. And that's the purpose of this presentation, is to briefly run through, for beginners, a guide on blogging for profit. The agenda today is, firstly, you need to select your niche. Then you need to set up the technology to run your blog. And then you need to make sure that you're disciplined about continually adding content that's of value to your readers. Then you need to think about adding products to your blog that you can then sell. And finally, you need to measure things to make sure that you're on the right track. So let's go through each of those. So many people ask us, what's the best way to select a product or to select a niche that I can use for blogging? And of course that's a tough question because it's different for different people, but one of the ways that we try to help people is by asking them to make a list of all of their interests and all of their sort of life experiences. What sort of things have you done in life? What sort of interests have you had? What sort of hobbies have you had? And what really interests you? What are the things that fascinate you? What do you find yourself reading? And once you make a list like that, you can generally look through that list and find something that you think, wow, I'd really like to, build my blog around that theme. And if you know a lot about that topic, then you're really in a much better position than you would be if it was something that you still had to learn about. But that doesn't preclude you from taking on something that you don't know a lot about. You will learn as you go through the process. The next thing to do is have a look around the internet, see what other people are doing in that niche. It's very interesting to see the approaches that other people have taken and what sort of communities they're building around their blogs. When you're thinking about what you want to do, it's important to think about how you're going to be different. How are you going to present yourself in such a way that your difference is important to your clients? There may be clients who want something a little different to what's out there already. How can you build something for them? So it's important to kind of think about who is your market, who are the people that you would be attracting. Once you've done that, you want to set some business objectives. So, like any business venture, you probably have I want to spend a certain amount of time on this business to generate a certain amount of money over a period of time. I want to attract a certain clientele. I want to get, so many posts up each day. So set yourself some goals. And then, of course, you want to make sure that in your niche there are products to promote. It's pretty tough if you select a niche that doesn't have many products, but we'll talk about that later. Setting up the technology, you're going to need a website for your blog. So first thing you need to do is select a domain name. So you can go to GoDaddy.com or one of the many domain name providers out there and select something that relates to your niche. You can be creative about that. Once you've done that, you need to decide where you're going to host your website, and you may choose the same place to get your domain and your hosting, but you probably just need a small hosting service, a shared hosting to start with. Keep your costs down. Install a content management system like WordPress on your server and select a theme, so a layout. We recommend WordPress because it's very easy to learn and it's very easy to use, and it's one of the most popular content management systems in the world. Then you need to think about, once you've got your blog up, you need to configure your site structure. So what I mean by that is, do you want your homepage to be presenting your blog posts on a continual basis, or would you rather have a static homepage with a link on your menu to the blog? It just depends on how you want to do things, I guess. There's no fixed rule. It's really going to depend on your objectives. And then, of course, consider buying an email marketing service like Aweber, or perhaps the one that we offer at webwings.com.au. And the purpose of that is to make sure that when people visit your website, if they're not buying your products, they might be subscribing to your services. Like they might want to receive a regular newsletter, or you might entice them to sign up for a particular offer, or keep them informed about what's coming up with the development of the blog, etc. And by doing that, they provide their email and their name, and you then have them in a system that you can continually market to them, continually send them messages and keep them coming back to your website. because ultimately you want more, you want that traffic coming back. Of course, as this is a business, you need to keep some discipline. You know, I see so many people who build their online businesses stop after a month or two because nothing's happening. You know, they've put in a lot of work and they're just not seeing the results. And we've found that, you know, persistence is really important. And if you read just about any small business book these days, it'll talk about the need to be persistent and to keep working at it. And if you do that, you will start to see results. It could take time, and the results may not be as grand as you had originally envisaged, but you will start to see the results. So set goals and be disciplined about how you use your time. Make sure that every day, whatever time you've set aside to work on your blog, you do it. Don't make any excuses. Get on with it. And if you do that, you'll continue to be creating new and interesting content for your readers, and that keeps them coming back. One way to select products to sell is to have a look at ClickBank, at the ClickBank marketplace. Little image on the right just shows what the website looks like. And at the top you can see the link there to the marketplace, which is just here. When you click on that, a bunch of categories will come up down the left hand side. Select the one that's most related to your niche, or it might be slightly related to your niche. And then you'll see a list of all the products that you could be selling on your website. And you can see this little promote button. Obviously you need to join ClickBank, which is free, and then you'll get a unique link by selecting these promote buttons. And then if you decided, for example, you wanted to sell lessons on how to use iPad, you could be promoting this offer on your website. And most of these providers will give you tools, like you can see they've got a URL here. So they'll give you tools to help you do that, so images and help for you as an affiliate to promote their products. When selecting one of these products, we generally recommend that you look at this gravity score and you decide and choose something that has a gravity of greater than 20. I won't go into the details as to why. It basically means that product sells. So important to choose products that sell, obviously, when you put them on your blog. And finally, you really need to measure. Make sure, like any business, you know what's happening on your website. So for example, if you're measuring your sales funnel, which is traffic coming into your site, so you'll have a number of visitors that are coming in perhaps per day, per week, per month, whatever your measure is. And then have a look at how many of them are clicking on your offers. So only a proportion of those are going to click on your offers. And then of those that click on your offers, what proportion of those are then converting to sales? And if you watch these numbers over time, when you change your products or you make changes to your website, you can actually measure and see which one seems to be more attractive to my customers. And if you're doing iPad videos, for example, and it sells a certain number for the number of visitors and clicks that you get, you may find that by changing that to a different provider, you actually get a better result. So very important to keep measuring and making sure that you're keeping track of your profits. So thank you for that for taking your time to listen to that very brief introduction to how to get your blogging business going. This is Keith Burgess from WebWings Internet Marketing, and you can find us at www.webwings.com.au. Thank you.